The TFT community seems to be saying that Kayle is a hard comp to play, and it drives away newer players from thinking they can learn the comp. I don't think Kayle is a hard comp, and today I'm giving you my quick Kayle guide. This is a fast 8 comp, which means you want to play whatever you hit early and get to level 8 around stage 5-1. If you want to learn more about this, check out my econ guide to see how you can play that. There are 5 core units in a Kayle comp, that being Kayle, Kindred, Yuumi, Shen, and Irelia. This is the 5 of the 8 units you're going to be playing the most every time you play Kayle. The other 3 units are flex units and can be whatever you want based off the chosen that you've hit. The flex units fall under 2 categories. You have more frontline or more utility. The frontline flex units are Sejuani and Aatrox for 2 Vanguard, or Yone for the 3rd Adept. These units buy more time for Kayle to deal more damage to the enemy team. If you find your frontline dying too fast, you can look to add some of these in. Utility units can be Lee Sin, Morgana, Swain, or Xayah. These units allow you to get trait buffs like Divine, Executioners, or Siphoners that help Kayle be a stronger unit. Carousel pick priority is bow, rod, chain, and glove. Bows are strong on Kayle and can be used in a lot of other comps, so they're first pick on a lot of players' pick orders. And they can tend to be weak early game and hard to find. So that means I focus on building items that are stronger early game and can help me win more, like Sunfire, Spark, or Rageblade, rather than building RFC or Quicksilver Sash early, which are great on Kayle, but won't help you win any early rounds. Kayle holds a lot of items well, so you don't have to worry about picking up the perfect Kayle items because she'll carry with anything. On Kayle, I tend to like to have 2 offensive items like Rageblade, Jeweled Gauntlet, Hand of Justice, Duelist Spat, Morello's, Death Cap. And I like to have 1 defensive item like RFC, Quicksilver Sash, GA, Trapclaw, or Gunblade. Early game, you're going to be playing your strongest board and trying to keep your life total high. The mid game is going to be hard since you're going to be facing players who've re-rolled their 1-cost units into 3-star before you have your Kayle comp complete. You might need to make sure that your life is as high as possible going into stage 3 and 4 just in case you fight them. Good ways to do this are to make items that are strong for the units you have and not worrying as much as making items for Kayle, since in stage 2 you won't have her for a while. A good example of this is that if I had 2 bows and a rod, I might be tempted to make RFC, because that's a way better Kayle item, but Rageblade's going to be much stronger early game and will still go great on Kayle. Another example of this is Cloak, Glove, Rod, which you could make Spark or Jewel Gauntlet instead of making QSS here. Mid game can be the hardest part of the game playing this comp. You need to make sure that you're not losing too much life each round so that you can make it to stage 5 healthy. Kayle games that I do not top 4 almost always come from not playing hard enough in stage 4. The ways that you can save life during this is by playing transitional carries and re-rolling when you are weak to 2-star the units on your board. Transitional carries are units that hold the items for your carry such as Kayle, while not being in your final game comp so you don't have to worry about selling them. Good transitional carries for Kayle are Tristana with Dragon Soul and Sharpshooter buff. She carries a Rageblade really well. Nidalee with Jeweled Gauntlet, Teemo, Kalista, and Sivir. It's stage 5 and you're trying to spend your gold to make your Kayle comp. What do you pick up? Let's start off with the Chosen. Kayle is the best Chosen you can get, and if you hit her, you should play her. Make sure to play 2 of the other units in the trait that she's chosen in, whether it be Divine or Executioner. Next is Executioner Xayah or Kindred. Next, you can play Adept Shen or Adept Irelia. Next, I would be playing Vanguard Sejuani or Vanguard Aatrox. And last, I'd play any other strong Chosens that I can fit into my comp, but I'd really want to try to get one of the ones before because those are all S and A tier Chosens to play in the comp. Your final 8 comp should be Shen, Irelia, Kayle, Kindred, Yuumi, 1 to 2 frontline units, and 1 to 2 utility units. Default positioning looks like this. We want to make sure that we have a solid frontline and that our Kayle is safely out of danger. Ways that we can adjust our positioning based on what our opponent is doing looks like this if we're playing against assassins, where we clump up our units and make sure that Sejuani is right in front of Kayle to slow down anyone on top of her, and Aatrox is away from Kayle to pull units off of her. Finally, we have when we're playing against ASOL or Aatroxes, where we want to make sure to center our Kayle so that she's not getting pulled by the Aatrox, or she's not in the direct line of fire of ASOL, so she can deal damage as long as possible. Let me know in the comments what comps you want help with in the next video. I'm going to start free VOD coaching on my Twitch channel in April, so drop a follow if you want more TFT coaching. We put a lot of work in these videos, and if you want to show your support or buy me a copy, there's a Patreon link below where you can do that. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.